John, we've heard a fair bit about reviewing the tape this week on the back of that disappointing loss. What have you discovered through the week?
I'm curious as to who you've been talking about our reviewing of video. Look, it speaks for itself we talk about championship level plays, and we just didn't have enough of those. They were the ones that got on the front foot with making game-winning plays. Great example. Bryce misses a free throw. Everyone expects Bryce to make that, but Jesse Wagstaff got a hand on the ball. They came up with the 50-50 ball where Jesse did a great job of allowing us to have an opportunity to, have a chance to win the game towards the end of that overtime.
We've seen... Yeah.
Just bring the online across.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We've seen Ty Webster out there. Is he back tomorrow night?
Yeah, look, it's been a very promising week for both Ty and Dylan, so it's looking very good that we'll be at full strength tomorrow.
What does Ty give you that you've been missing over the past 6-7 weeks? Does it help take a bit of heat off Bryce as well?
Yeah, look, absolutely. His dynamic playmaking ability, his athleticism allows him to punish aggressive defenders, get full court quickly, but then also just live in the paint and create a lot of opportunities. On the other end of the floor, defensively, he's good athletic guard that can really pressure the ball and be very disruptive at that end of the floor. So looking forward to him being back in the lineup and bringing that element that no one else on our roster has.
It will be a big weekend for Jesse. Does that give the team a bit of extra spark?
Look, I'm sure with the milestone Jesse's achieving, his teammates will want to make sure they reward him in the way that he should be rewarded for his career and milestones that he's achieving right now.
What have you made of Jesse's season? He just seems to keep bringing new things. We saw, it wasn't last game, the game before,
Yep.
2 incredible passes in 30 seconds of play. He just seems to get better with age, really, almost.
Yeah, and last week someone asked me about his leadership. I said, his leadership's always at a high level. I think it's being disrespectful to what Jesse's doing as a basketball player when you just start talking about his age and leadership. He's playing great basketball.
He's got a difference to him, doesn't he? He brings a bit of cheekiness to the court as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, but that's allowed him to play 16 years, 500 games, all of that type of thing. And to be a really good player, you got to have that edge. Your words, cheekiness, and Jesse's always possessed that in bucket loads.
Tell us about Dylan Windler coming back in, if he comes back in. What's he bring for you?
Yeah, look, before he received the eye injury, Dylan was playing at a very high level. You could see him very comfortable out on the floor with our group and our team and how we were progressing. So to get him back with 3 games left in the regular season is promising, and we just look a little more comfortable when he's out on the floor.
What does it mean to have so many teams still alive at this end of the season? We haven't had a season like that for a while where almost everyone's still a chance.
Yeah, look, all I can worry about is us and how we perform, and Southeast Melbourne gets our full attention because that's all we can control right now.
How do you manage having a full roster that you haven't had for the entire season, where blokes have been getting a lot of minutes and playing really well, and suddenly you've got to try to work out how to give everybody minutes?
Yeah, look, I think we're afforded easing guys in without unrealistic expectation. The likes of, Aquera, Almanza, Henschel, Pepper, the young group that I talk about all the time, they've been in the trenches now with us all season. They understand that. They've gained our confidence. So when Ty and Dylan are out on the floor, we're not needing them to be superheroes. They can just ease themselves back into it.
So you obviously want to get finishes as high as you can, and you want to be as healthy as you can at the same time. So there's the cutthroat element of every game and thinking about getting Ty through to the playoffs. So what's realistic for him this weekend to get his body playing without breaking?
Yeah, look, I think for him, especially with the 2 games this weekend, is hopefully we see growth over those 2 games and what that looks like as far as playing time. I want to make sure he's progressing and feeling comfortable on the floor, but meanwhile not putting him in danger because he has missed a good period of time right now.
How long has he done? 1 or 2 weeks with you guys fully?
Yeah, look, he's been fully for a couple of weeks now, and before that he was gradually building up with us. So, he's had a good build-up. We've been very mindful of his previous injuries this season, so he should hit the court in in good game shape that practice can prepare you for.
It's felt like you've had more chance to practice longer time on court this week than what you would have when that past 5-game stretch was pretty intense and fairly light. Has that made a big difference, being able to train for harder and longer?
I wouldn't say we go for longer, but our purpose has been very good this week, but we really get judged about that tomorrow night.
Do you feel that when you don't go as hard because you're managing blokes in between such a short time frame, does that flow onto games? Do you feel could that have had some effect with the way you played last weekend?
Look, when you get to this stage of the season, it's finding the balance of like what's a good length, what are you addressing, the intensity, all of those things, and we had a good balance of that. What I would say is before Dylan was injured. And look, he's a tough one to replace with everything that he brings to our team. So moving forward, excited to have him and Ty back because they're unique players for our roster and what they bring. And we don't have, like, our roster, and as you saw with the young guys that got their opportunities, everyone brings a little different dynamic to our group. And we need everyone performing at their best for us to give ourselves the best chance of winning.
And Southeast Melbourne, you played them a lot this year, but every single time they've been different, whether it's been a different coach or a different style, different players and stuff. Like, can you take anything from those other games, or do you just have to focus on what they've been doing recently?
Oh, look, the last game they were coached by Josh King, and they were probably still in their like infant stage. So you certainly reflect on that game, and then probably over the last month is probably a good reflection of who they're becoming under his leadership.
So what's the key to stopping them, do you feel?
Oh, look, as we seem to say nearly every week with most teams, transition, defense, because they got dynamic players, Sobey, Glover, Foxwell, Ben Air, like Matt Hurts, a good player, Wieskamp starting to really find his form in the league. But then for us at the other end, like playing with a good pace and purpose with our offense, but also like sharing the ball, and we always preach good to great with our shot selection.
Thank you.
All right, no worries.